What up? What up? Thanks for checking back into the second episode of the Brown Mobile Podcast. Again, my name is Jackson. This episode, I'm gonna be kind of recapping everything I kind of went over in the first episode. So I'm gonna go over how my picks went. Which spoiler alert, wasn't very good. I'm gonna go over my fantasy team, how they did, um, a little bit how I thought week one went, and then I'm gonna be going over how I thought Backlash went for all my wrestling fans out there. So yeah, let's get right to it. So my my picks this week didn't go very well. Um, Let me see. I'm taking a look at it. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for. I went 6 for 13 so far. Um, Still got two more games tonight. The Monday night games. Um, but it's weird because even though I didn't do so hot, making my pick on the last episode of the pod, I did another little pick through like a little like office type pool thing with some people I know, and I did a lot better on that. That's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, you know, um, let's see where I get started with that. Yeah, the Panthers didn't do so. I picked the Panthers. Panthers lost. Titans lost. Bears lost. Um, Eagles came out with the win. Bills lost, and uh, both the Bills and the Titans game, those are games where in the other pool I picked the other teams to win. So I picked the Vikings to win. I also picked the Ravens to win another one. Um, Chiefs came back, got the win, which is big for me. Bucks, same thing. I came back, got the win. Pack, Seahawks, Bengals, those are all teams I had everyone picking. And then the last three games, the last night, three games where if I had made, if I picked, if all three of those guys, if freaking Terrence Williams didn't freaking bonehead run back inbounds, doing the defensive job for them. Cowboys could have had a chance to win. Same thing with the Colts. Just bad clock management. Cards too, just kind of couldn't get it together, couldn't figure it out. Um, if I had picked, if I gotten all three of those, I would have only missed two games in that other one. In that other, no, I would have missed one game in the other, that other little pick'em thing I did, and more than likely would have been the winner of that pool. So, um, a little bummed out about that, but what can you say? That's football. Um, but yeah, so overall with week one, minus the bonehead plays, from especially from the Terrence Williams, as like I said, on the Cowboys. Um, bonehead plays like that, just no situational awareness. It's actually pretty funny, even on Twitter. Madden, the Twitter account that's specifically for Madden, they were they dissed on Terrence Williams, saying his awareness rating is going to go definitely be going down, and deservedly so. But yeah, like I said, minus the last three games where you know there was, like I said, it could have went either way. There were some other close games, like the Raiders, and my Raiders pulled it out at the end. Michael Crabtree coming in clutch on the 2 point conversion, gutsy call. Um, Really excited about that. Um, the was I think it said like four games were decided within 1 point, um, which is pretty good. There's really good games to start off the season. Um, you know, Bucks looks great. Um, Chiefs coming all the way back to win. That was huge. Couldn't really believe it because being a Raider fan, I really, really, really don't like either team. But you know, I'd rather see would rather have seen the Chargers lose than the Chiefs lose, I guess. But I don't know if both teams could lose. I wish I wish that was possible. Um, and then also surprising was how the Seahawks and the Packers. You think it'd be kind of you know steamroll over teams like the Jaguars and the Dolphins, teams that are predicted to not do very well this season, probably picking the lottery again, or the top get a top draft pick. Um, yeah, the Pack, they obviously won. You can't complain about that, but they just didn't win. You thought they'd win at least a little bit more decidingly. And the Seahawks, I guess Russell Wilson sprained his ankle, so who knows how they're going to be going for the rest of the season. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is, to be honest. I don't know if it's still what's his name? Pretty sure it's not Matt Flynn. Um, but yeah, overall, pretty good week one in my opinion. Um, I liked how let me see, I liked how a lot of the rookies looked pretty good. Uh, Carson Wentz for the Eagles played really well. Um, he had what? Let me see. I got it up right here. He had 22 for 37. You can't go wrong with that with a 101 passer rating. But and 270 yards. But the best stat there is no interceptions. Usually first guys, they go make a few mistakes, but you know helps that they're playing the Browns. But still, as a rookie, it's pretty impressive. Um, Drew Brees too. Everyone said he signed that 1 year deal this year, and that's pretty much his you know I've done what I can do now. Pay me kind of deal at the end of every great quarterback end of his career. They get those kind of deals, and that's kind of what it seemed like that was going to be for him. But yeah, he went out. He showed out 423 yards against my Raiders, and even though they got the win, that's a lot of yards to give up. Um, Most of them, almost 100 of them, did come on that one pass. But again, that shouldn't happen in the first place. He got beat deep, and yeah, we got stuff we can work on. You know, Andrew Luck looked great also. Um, Stuff like that. Even Matt Stafford too. She's like, even who'd have thought? Everyone's kind of starting to write off guys like Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, like those kind of guys. Joe Flacco, those kind of guys. They're starting to write them off now that they're not really elite anymore. But they did play pretty well. They played pretty well this year, this week one. Not gonna lie. Um, yeah. Also, Ezekiel Elliott looked pretty good. Excuse me. He didn't have a whole lot of yards, I guess, but played well. As a rookie, you know, Dak Prescott too. Just you just looked at them. They all looked completely calm, poised. You know, stuff that you usually see kind of like some jitters or like a little nervousness, I guess you could say. You get the butterflies in the stomach, that kind of. You can see it on their body language, but those guys went out there. They knew they had a job to do, just filling in for losing their leader, Tony Romo, and then they got to do what they got to do. But so yeah, that's how I thought week one went. Still, like I said, it's still not over. Um, we still got two more games, and now we got the Rams playing, and then the Rams playing the Niners, and we also got the Steelers and the Redskins. So I still got those going. Um, Hopefully they can get my average up for my picks, so I can at least be above 500 by the end of the season. So yeah, that's how I thought week one went. Um, Now it's time to move on to the real deal, how my fantasy teams did. That's where the big money's at. So in first team, my first team that I had, uh, so like I said, if you tune in the last episode, I have two leagues that I'm in this year. It's a family league and a friend league. So I'm gonna start things off with my family. This week I'm actually playing my brother, and it's pretty much no contest. He still has Ben Roethlisberger going tonight, but I'm already up 107 to 71. So unless Roethlisberger, you know, has at least 50 pass attempts, I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be having any victories anytime soon. So my starting lineup this week was Derek Carr at quarterback, Mike Evans and Jarvis Landry as my receivers. For running backs, I had AP and Spencer Ware. My tight end was Martellus Bennett, and my flex had Amari Cooper. Um, for my kicker, Seabass always baby, and then this defense, I had the Green Bay's defense. Um, Seabass did well, 8 points, some good deep field goals. Green Bay held in there. They had a few sacks, but they gave up I think 20 something points, 23 points. So whatever, you know, I'm not looking for anything, any extra points on defense is bonus. So that's not, no, I'm not tripping on that. But but yeah, so my sleeper pick for this year was I pride myself in getting a lot of sleeper picks um over the years, and my this year for sure Spencer Ware was the one, because I realized I don't know how long Jamal Charles is gonna be out for, so I knew that they were gonna need to that they had wanted to have Spencer Ware step up, as opposed to, I forget the other guy's name. He's like number like 35 or whatever the other guy is. Um, he like returns kicks for them sometimes, but I knew Spencer Ware was to get more of the workload, and he it paid off. He had 25, 26 points pretty much. He had was it? He had 70 yards rushing and a touchdown plus 129 receiving yards. Now I didn't watch the game. I was watching the Raider game, so I didn't see how they got them, whether it was on one long run or one long catch or whatever. But anyway, I'll take it. Um, Derek Carr played well too. No interceptions, one touchdown, but like I said, as long as I don't have interceptions and he gave me 24 points, I'll take it. Um, Look at that, Mike Evans too, 40-yard touchdown. That's an extra point. So was long, and then yeah, but the tough days for Jarvis Landry, AP, and Martellus Bennett. Although Martellus Bennett did play well, blocking and being a decoy, really, didn't really have much of a fantasy impact. But that'll change. Once Gronk comes, they'll be able to balance each other out, hopefully. Um, AP, not sure what happened on this one. Only 31 rush yards. Like I said, I don't know what happened. I have to kind of watch the highlights or something to see whether Tennessee's defense was stacking the box or whatever. I don't really know. And then Jarvis Landry, also again, I didn't watch the Seahawks game, so I don't know why Jarvis Landry only had a 59-yard. I mean, that's not only, but I don't know why he didn't have at least have a touchdown. I mean, it does, it is the Dolphins, but being the feature receiver, you'd think that he'd get more touches than that. Only thing is if I could have done one thing over, I would have switched out Larry Fitzgerald for Jarvis Landry for sure, considering that Jarvis Landry had 5.9 and Fitz had 20.1, especially with the 2 touchdowns. And then big up to Larry Fitzgerald too, being one of the only guys to have at least 100 receiving touchdowns. For sure going to the Hall of Fame. Probably some of the best teeth in the NFL also, maybe all of sports. Yeah, big up to Fitz on that one. So that's how that team went. I'm probably more than likely going to win this week. So starting off 1-0. Now we get to my other league, my friend league. Didn't do so well on this one. A lot more guys didn't do as well as I thought. A lot of it came with me making a last-minute decision to play Darren Sproles over Danny Woodhead, which was a huge mistake considering Sproles only got 3.6 points for me, and Danny Woodhead got 18. Pretty much almost all of Chargers offense yesterday. So it's all right. You live and you learn. And then also, so I'll just go over the rest of my starting lineup. So I didn't mention it last week or the last pod, but I did make some moves. I picked up Jay Cutler just for this week, really, depending on how it does, because I wanted to have the Jay Cutler and I also have Alshon Jeffrey. So if I was going to get points, I might as well double up or try to double up on points. Didn't throw a touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey, but he did throw another touchdown pass. But he did throw a pick also, so he only gave me 12 points. Sammy Watt, I also have for receiver. So again, Jay Cutler, my quarterback. I started him this week. My receivers were Alshon Jeffrey. He did okay. I have Sammy Watkins, who I guess his foot is hurt or messed up or something like that. So I don't know how much he's going to be, how effective he'll be for me going forward. But I also have Antonio Brown. So he's my last guy I got going today. Hopefully he can get me some points. I'm down. Let's see, I'm down 18 points. So I need Antonio Brown. If you don't get a lot of yards, please Big Ben, just throw all the touchdown passes to him. That's all I care about. I just need the points. So yeah, Antonio Brown, Sammy Watkins, Alshon Jeffrey. As I mentioned, my running backs, I got Darren Sproles, Danny Woodhead. I also have Arian Foster, who didn't do too bad. Give me 10 even points. Not bad. Travis Kelce is my tight end, who I started this week. I thought he'd get more looks. Like, again, didn't watch the game. I don't know if they tried to bracket him and shut him down, being the most effective weapon for the Chiefs on offense. Him and what's his name? Him and Jeremy Maclin. But like I said, I don't know what happened. Again, Seabass, my kicker, did well again. And I also have Carolina's defense, who played well in the beginning and then just kind of at the very end kind of started to lose it. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, they gave me 8 points, couple sacks, fumble recovery, but they gave up 21 points. So that's like I said, that's what I got. Hopefully my defense is, as long as they keep getting turnovers and sacks and stuff, that's fine with me. But they got to keep those points down at the end of the day. Yeah. They did all right. So again, I'm down. Hopefully, please, Antonio Brown, have a big game for me today, baby. I need it. Um, I'll definitely be watching. Again, the only mistake I made lineup wise, um, switching out, making last minute, switching out Darren Sproles for Danny Woodhead. I'm not gonna do that again. Um, looking for any gotta look for a new receiver. I mean, I have Philip Dorsett um, as one of my other backup receivers. I don't know much about him. He played well. He played okay. He had a couple of nice catches at the end in the fourth quarter, the game against the Lions. But I don't know if I can fully trust him as a full season. I have to look up who else is available, considering if Sammy Watkins gets shut down. I saw something on ESPN saying that he might get shut down for a significant amount of time. Hopefully that's not the case. Um, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see going forward. Let's see. Anything else fantasy wise? I love fantasy football. It's a lot of fun. Um, like I said, this is the beginning is pretty easy. Pretty laid back. But once it gets closer to playoff time, you'll probably see a lot more stress on my face, a lot more gray hairs, uh, coming out. Around week 13, 14, or maybe a little bit sooner, week 12, 11. But yeah, I'm all just from a fantasy little update. I'm also very very excited that Tom Brady will be back in a I'm 1 week closer to getting Tom Brady back, especially after they won. He's gonna be looking real hungry, and this was the game that they thought that the 4 games that Brady was out. They were saying that the best case scenario is if they went 3-1 with the one loss against the Cardinals, because the other 3 weeks they have more than enough of a chance to hang in there. So you know Tom Brady coming back, and then that'd be the ultimate revenge to run the table, run the table maybe, and then win the Super Bowl and get that trophy from Goodell and give him a big old fu. Um, that'd be it's a stretch and it's a reach of a thought, but it'd be pretty nice to see, considering how I personally don't like Goodell and all the things that he's done, especially recently. But you know, hey, what can you say? What can you do? It's only week one. There's still a lot more football to be played. Anything can happen, really. So, yeah, that's how my weekend was for football. Again, like I said, it's not over yet, but that's how my weekend pretty much went for football. Um, now I'm gonna get back into, or I'm gonna get into Backlash now. So I'll admit I kind of was sleeping on SmackDown a little bit the last couple weeks. I've been doing other things. Like I was like doing some schoolwork, doing some other work, um, and so I haven't really been not focusing, but I haven't really been uh, paying attention. I guess I don't want to say that, but yeah, I haven't really been paying attention. Okay, I haven't been paying attention that much. I knew all the matches going into it. Like I knew, AJ Styles was going in for, going up for it. Um, and then I knew about the Miz and Dolph Ziggler, which I have plenty to say about that. I knew there was that women's like 6-pack challenge again, another one of those things, but then I didn't really know who was in it. I knew it was like, my main girl Becky Lynch, who's my favorite women's division wrestler. I love Becky Lynch so much. Um, and yeah, I was getting right into it. Yeah, I'm more than excited that she finally, got to the top and she won. Spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be listening at this point if you hadn't already watched it or seen the results. But yeah, very excited that Becky Lynch got the win. Well deserved, put in all the hard work, long time grinding, and I'm very, very, very excited. At least they, because especially after so long of her, being in the triple threat match of WrestleMania, losing. Um, and then it seemed like she just kind of slowly going down from there. Like she get a chance, and then they would just keep burying her, get a chance, and then bury her again, get a chance, bury her again. It's just like why she was getting. She's so over. Like everyone knows that she's the best, or she's one of the most fan favorites, and you know it was just a mystery as to why she just kept getting buried. It's like Natalia too. Nothing against her, but everyone loves Becky Lynch. So even though some people think the straight fire thing's annoying, whatever, just what she does in the ring, her enthusiasm, her charisma, her technicality, how she really sells everything that it looks and it makes to make sure that it looks as real as possible. So again, can't give enough praise for Becky Lynch. Congrats on winning the championship. And then um the tag team championship thing, I don't really care for it, you know. Um uh just a little background on my relationship with wrestling. So I grew up watching, just like a lot of people, oh, that whole the Attitude Era, whatever, all that, The Rock, Stone Cold, Jericho. Kane's my favorite wrestler. I don't care what anyone says. Kane's my favorite wrestler. Undertaker, Kurt Angle, you know, all these guys. And I grew up watching it until about, I guess, they want what they call it. They called it the ruthless aggression era, even though the ruthless aggression term was coined way before that started. So I kind of stopped watching around that area when I got into high school around 2005, 2006, when I kind of stopped. Because it just got too kind of lame for me. I mean, I'll say it. And it was lame because I got, and then I stopped watching for a long time. I got back into it maybe almost 2 years ago now. Um, Kind of right after the Daniel Bryan stuff. I got in right after that, so I missed like live seeing Daniel Bryan. I missed seeing CM Punk, and I missed all that. And that's kind of where that's the only regret I have is missing seeing what I like, knowing what I know now because I went back, did a lot of like watched a lot of YouTube and stuff like that. I watched and all that, and I wish that I had seen the CM Punk Daniel Bryan. Um, I didn't care. I mean, John Cena was cool when I first saw him when he came back as the rapper with freaking Bling Bling Buchanan and all that shit, and the Spinner Championship belt. I saw that, and like John Cena's cool. I know he's a good guy. Um, all the charity work he does, all the the Make a Wish Foundation stuff he does, but in the ring and just always having him bury people and just all that stuff. Uh, yeah, I can see why it got really old and why CM Punk did what he did with the whole pipe bomb thing and all that. And so, yeah, I'm pretty caught up with what I missed, when I didn't actually watch, Raw and SmackDown every week. But bringing it back to this week, I loved Rhino. I thought Rhino was super cool, like when I was younger. I watched a little bit of ECW, so I knew him from that. But then I did like him a lot when he was in WWE as Rhino, doing his thing. But I like Rhino. From what I've seen as Heath Slater and what I've read about with the Nexus and all that stuff, like I understand he's a cool guy and like all this, but I really don't care much for them being the champions. Um, I don't know what happened with American Alpha. I thought they were gonna be the ones to do it, but I guess one of them got hurt. Um, so apologize if I don't remember their names because I again like I didn't know about NXT until a little while ago, so I haven't really fully caught up with NXT stuff either. Um, Although Shinsuke Nakamura is the sickest and the best thing in wrestling right now, I don't care what it says. Shinsuke is the best, and so like I said, I don't really care much for them. The Usos are cool. Um, you know, I was a huge Rikishi fan, and like part of me is like, oh yeah, like I like the Usos, this and that, but their heel gimmick is cool, I guess. They're kind of trying to be darker, more edgy. Um, I'm pretty sure that this is going to mean that they're going to be paired up with Roman Reigns a lot more. They're going to be kind of a thing, and oh, maybe not. Actually, never mind. They can't do that, but they pretty much want them to be the same kind of heel turn that they're trying to get Roman to do, I guess. Um, so uh, I don't know. Like I said, I just only care for it. Congrats. I mean, I guess like I'm pretty sure that that's not Heath Slater's real family, and it's just a work. Um, but it's a throwback style little promo, little those throwback vignettes, kind of where they're like on scene somewhere else. little throwback. I like the idea, but just it's kind of old and I don't know, doesn't really work for me. But I mean, he's got the contract. That was cool, that whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. Best luck to them going forward. I kind of really hope American Alpha gets it going in the future. Um, and yeah, that's that. Also, so uh, all right. Judging by the way that I'm kind of sounding disgusted, you guys might, if you saw Backlash, you might know what I'm about to talk about. But so I already said Kane is my favorite wrestler of all time. I love Kane no matter what. Like I love Kane, but what they did to Bray Wyatt, or what they keep doing to Bray Wyatt, I it just blows my mind because I didn't like really like know anything about wrestling, whatever. And then I came back, I didn't know anything about it for a while. And then I came back and I'm like, who is this dude, Bray Wyatt? Like his gimmick, that gimmick is so cool. Like I'm like, yo, this guy is sick. Like you can see it, and he's like really enthusiastic about it. I understand that like the way it was kind of started, I guess was playing off the whole Duck Dynasty thing. But then, Bray being, second, third generation superstar, understands way more about, how the business works and all that. And so he realized I have something here that's special, and he just grew it into, the what it is, what Bray Wyatt is now, or what it was at its peak before I guess they split him up and he was buried again buried by John Cena. And then freaking the whole WrestleMania thing. Like, I don't understand why they keep doing this to him. And he's probably going to come out on Thursday and cut some promo acting like he didn't just get pinned by Kane. I mean, yeah, it wasn't clean. It wasn't a clean victory. Randy Orton came with the RKO, whatever. But I don't know. I just don't understand it. Like, it's getting to the point where he's supposed to be this menacing figure that's just so like again like the eater of worlds, and he's the mind control guy and everything. You're supposed to believe that he's this unstoppable force, but he continues to lose. I can't remember the last time he's won any a meaningful match. I honestly don't remember off the top, because he just keeps getting buried. Like, and it's like he cuts these huge promos and he does all these things, and then he loses. And I don't know what they're setting him up for. Yeah, I get it. Randy Orton couldn't wrestle. I guess IRL Randy Orton couldn't wrestle. Like, and that's cool. So they made that whole thing where he was like smashing his leg and he couldn't wrestle. But I don't know. At least put Bray Wyatt over. You know, make him feel more menacing. Like, it's kind of like, imagine if they did this to the Undertaker. I'm not comparing him to the Undertaker, but just saying Undertaker cut these whole things when it was the Ministry of Darkness, where he was this omniscient force that just had the whole, he had the ministry of the Ministry of Darkness, and he had all these like these followers, this cult following, when they had that whole goth thing going on, like with the Brood and then the corporate ministry and all that weird stuff. But imagine if he was the reason why you bought into it was because he would win, and because he was so menacing, and he would say he would essentially talk the talk and then walk the walk, because he would win in the ring. And it's just when you want to do that again with Bray Wyatt, essentially he's cutting all these promos. I'm the eater of worlds, and I'm gonna mind control you, and telling everyone to follow. But essentially, who wants to follow a loser? Yeah, he's cool. Like, his gimmick is awesome, and how he would, when he was just sitting in the rocking chair, and it's like he's from the bayou, and he's from like the darkness and the smoke and the fireflies and all that. But when you always lose, no one's gonna want to follow you, and that's essentially it. And people bought into the Undertaker because he would win, and it's just hard to get people behind someone who doesn't win. And so I just hope that they figure this out with Bray Wyatt. Um, I don't know, man. I just want him to do so well. You can see it, you know. Hopefully they do something where it's tough right now, because he's in this feud now with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton just came back, and he's got a lot of push, and he's got a lot of fan favorite, not fan favorite, but I guess a lot of like yeah, he got a lot of fans, and so he's got a lot of push. Um, and so it's like, do you put Bray? It's like either way, it's a lose lose for this situation. That's why I didn't like putting Bray Wyatt with Randy Orton in the first place, because you know whoever wins between these two, this little feud that they're telling, is going to go on to get a shot at the championship. But it's like, sure, you're happy that Randy Orton makes it because people like Randy Orton, but then now Bray Wyatt's buried, and he has to try again or something, or who knows. But then again, it's like Randy Orton just came back, and it's like, are you gonna just bury him already and put Bray Wyatt over the top? So who knows? Um, and it's just, I just didn't, like I said, I didn't like it from the beginning. Um, it's a lose lose. Someone someone that the fans like a lot, is gonna get left out. And at this point, it looks like it's gonna be Bray Wyatt, and that's the worst thing that they could do right now. Um, and then it's not like they can put him, and moving on, trying to make a little transition with the Intercontinental title. I don't know what they're doing. I don't like The Miz at all. Like, I get what he's represents and all that, but it's just not believable to me. And that's just as a someone who watched the Real World when he was on it, and I was like, and then when he came into wrestling, I'm like, wait, isn't that the guy from the Real World? And it's just not believable. Like, I get it, the irony of he's saying he's the number one movie star, even though his movies just suck. Like, and like he knows they suck. Everyone knows they suck, but like he's playing it up like he's the best, and I get that. But and he's like, now he's playing the extra heel. Like, it's getting a little bit better because now he's got his wife doing all the stuff for him, so it's making him extra like he's a wimp and a loser, and like it's just all a facade. And I get that, but like at some point, it's like, give the IC title to someone better, like give it to someone better, because like I said, it's just not believable. Like, I don't believe anything that he says. You don't believe anything that he does. He just wants to be a TV star. And it's just not really believable, really. Um, I don't know. I really don't know. I thought Dolph should have went over, because it's just, unless it's just they're building it up again, where the whole, he's gonna keep coming out saying that he gets every time he always gets really close and then gets shut down and this and that, his whole underdog thing that he's pushing. But I guess the only good thing out of that match was how Miz was making fun of Daniel Bryan. Um, and I guess that maybe is a hint that Daniel Bryan will come back. I don't know. That'd be cool. Like I said, I didn't see him around the first time. That'd be cool to, I guess, see him around the second time. Um, no matter what he does, I guess Daniel Bryan is untouchable with the fans. The Yes movement was huge. Everyone was doing the Yes thing, even though, like, you're doing something right when something from wrestling breaks through to popular culture with the Yes thing. You had football teams doing it. You had basketball teams doing it. You had, other schools doing it, like other people doing it, kind of like for like viral video kind of things, like kind of like how the Harlem Shake was, or like you know, doing all those things. Like, when you got people doing, the Yes chant outside of wrestling, you're doing something right. So I guess that's the only good thing. But moving on to the main event. So I love AJ Styles so much from TNA, because when I stopped watching WWE because I thought it sucked, I would watch TNA because at least it the characters were better a little bit, but the wrestling was there, because they were trying to move WWE moving away from wrestling and moving on to like trying to make these weird storylines and like cutting all these weird cameos from like celebrities and all that stuff, whatever. But you know, I loved AJ Styles in TNA, and he kind of started to show up when I was there, or when I not when I was there, but when I started watching it, I was like, damn, this guy's good, just flying around. He's athletic, he's strong, everything. He's just got it. And he went around, he bounced around a little bit, and finally ended up in WWE. And I was so excited. I'm like, oh, finally, like AJ Styles, like a real wrestler. And then when he was in the match against Chris Jericho, I knew it. Everyone knew it. That was Vince McMahon's way of saying fuck you to TNA, and he just buried him. And I thought that was it for for AJ Styles when he lost to Chris freaking Jericho clean at WrestleMania, and it's just like, what the hell was that? But you know, he slowly worked his way up. He kept taking his bumps. And I guess it was all part of a bigger plan because it all paid off. He beat John Cena. You know, and obviously it was John Cena's probably going to be doing some more movies and everything, whatever. I know the whole going out on your back thing. So John Cena's probably taking the leave for a little while, doing a bunch of like Hollywood stuff, kind of like a la The Rock. But then it's good to see that at least they got the right guy to do this to take over. Because he's similar to Seth Rollins, where they want him playing the heel role, but the fans still love him. They don't care that he's playing a heel. They're gonna love him because they understand that he's one. They don't, even if you didn't know his history before, in Japan and TNA and all that other stuff, but just when you watch him now, it's like, damn it, like you can see it. This guy is good. This guy's a pro. The way he works, not just how he works in the ring, but the way he works the mic. He's a pro. And so I'm happy that he won. I just wish it was clean because now they're by him low blowing, Dean Ambrose into the Styles Clash. It's setting it up for a rematch with Dean Ambrose, and then it's like, look, I like Dean Ambrose too. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like he's better being an Intercontinental Champion, in my opinion. I think he could go down there. Him and Dolph can run the Intercontinental thing, and then you let guys like Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles. Tell me that wouldn't be a good match. That's huge. That could be I don't know, one of the bigger. I don't know what the new pay per views are for each one. I think it's No Mercy's the next one. I don't know if they're gonna do it that fast, but the different pay per views for SmackDown, AJ Styles and Bray Wyatt would be a great match. AJ Styles, Randy Orton would also be a great match. But I guess they're just trying to make another rematch with Dean Ambrose. Not sure why. Like I said, Dean Ambrose is good. I like him. I like his attitude. His whole his gimmick. And it's not really a gimmick because I know that's kind of how he is really. But yeah, I don't know. He just didn't really do it for me as a champion. And I know a lot of people felt the same way. But don't mean to really complain. AJ Styles is champion. Can't go wrong with that. That's ultimately what everyone wanted. It's just how it happened, how he couldn't just go over clean. Not sure why. And then it just, and then they just kept emphasizing at the end. They had what's his name? I love that guy, the commentator, Marvel Ronaldo. I think, right? Yeah, I love that guy, man. That guy is the best, honestly. Um, but when all they had him and JBL, all they were just talking about was, oh yeah, he's a champion, but at what cost to his legacy and yada yada. Like, does it really count because he couldn't do it clean? And it's like, why? It's like, he's clearly good enough to do it, but the fact that they won't give it to him clean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Um, I don't know, man. So that was that was Backlash. Not sure how I'm gonna end up watching Raw tonight. I got a lot of football on. I'll probably watch the replay of it or something. Um, but yeah, I'm on Backlash right now. The little Backlash page, it says a questionable new low for Styles leads to a controversial championship conclusion. See, and I get it. They want him to be a heel champion. I get it, but I don't know. He can be a heel, but he doesn't have to do stuff like this. When they did it before, when he beat Cena with the club or whatever, like that made sense because that was a better angle to take it at because it was out of his control. He sold it like he was passed out or wherever, and then the club just came and beat up John Cena on their own without him telling him to do so. And that makes more sense because again, it's like he wants to do it by himself and he wants to do it the right way, but I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully, things have been a lot better. SmackDown still feels like the B brand. And and it's like, are they doing it on purpose, or is it just, are they trying and just swinging and missing? And if they're doing it on purpose, then they're doing a good job. If they're swinging and missing, then you know they missed out big time because they could have had AJ Styles win clean, and that could have really helped. Because now it's like, why are they? Because a lot of people get uninterested when it's like, why are they doing this to AJ Styles? He's literally one of the best in the world, but 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 yeah, hey, like I said, can't complain. AJ Styles is a WWE champion. Who would have thought? Who ever? Who would have thought that? Not even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, before he even came to WWE, 2 years ago when he was killing it in Japan. Who would have thought? Who would have thought you would ever say that sentence? AJ Styles is WWE champion. Man, that's it's nice to say. It's just kind of weird. I thought I'd be. I mean, I am excited, but just the fact that they had to make him do it there, he couldn't win clean. Kind of just bad taste in my mouth. Well, we'll see where it goes from here. Hopefully, they can turn it around, figure things out, um, get better. So, yeah, SmackDown's gonna be interesting. There's a whole. It's a. I guess like a new era for SmackDown now too. Bunch of new champions. Um, you know, I'm looking at those tag belts right now, and those are freaking hideous, man. They gotta fix those. Uh, like the Universal Championship, which is hopefully I can talk about that maybe another time, maybe later on this week after I watch Raw and SmackDown. You know, my thoughts on that, where Kevin Owens is champ, and again, like, this is what a time, right? You got Kevin Owens is your Universal Champion, or the Raw Champion. AJ Styles is a SmackDown Champion. If you'd have thought that they were gonna do, if you thought that's the situation everyone wanted. I don't know, maybe at the beginning of the year, when it was, when they both got called up and they were both kind of, making their claim in WWE as opposed to where they were before, and that's what one of those essentially what most fans wanted. What they wish that they could have Kevin Owens as a champ, and they could have AJ Styles be the champ, at least once maybe. And now they're both champion at the same time, but it's under situations and circumstances that you know that leave bad taste in your mouth. It's like, why can't they just do it clean? Why does every match have to end in an interference, and then a roll up with a pull in the trunks? Why does every match have to end that way? Why does every match have to end in an outside interference, where the referee gets distracted, and then some one of the people, like, the club comes and beats John Cena up, and then it says AJ Styles can't do it on his own. I mean, he eventually did, but it's just why? Why can't Kevin Owens just go over Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns? Like, why? And, like, I get it. Maybe, I mean, maybe it's to get Seth Rollins to be more of a face turn, or like a true face where everyone, he was over with the fans, but you know uh he was over with the fans, but his character was as a heel, and it was kind of it was a weird, paradox that the WWE does not like, clearly doesn't like, because they want you to, and it's because they want, if they're selling him as a heel, they want him to be treated like a heel. They're selling Roman Reigns as a face, and they want him to be treated like a face, no matter how many boos that he gets. So, um, I don't know. I don't know. And I love Triple H. I love what he's done for WWE. He's a big part of my childhood, and a lot of my favorite matches involve Triple H. But just uh, I missed that whole the authority thing. The whole authority angle. But now I'm seeing it, and I understand that it was very annoying. It was just as annoying to see Triple H stick himself into a storyline for seemingly no apparent reason, and it was just as annoying to have that happen as it was to have John Cena go over or bury someone like the Nexus, or or be thrown into a main event again. And it's the same. I understand it's the same feeling that fans had before, and I see why. You want a guy like Kevin Owens who does not need help, and in no way does not need help, to be given help like that, and especially from Triple H. And then it's like no one wants to see the Authority come back, and then this might mean that Kevin Owens is the new authority figure, like how Seth Rollins was, and this and that. But I don't know. I don't know. A lot going on. Yeah, a lot going on. But yeah. So I think that's gonna about wrap it up. I wanted to get to. I don't know, in the last one I mentioned talking about some TV. I did get around to watching Atlanta. I love that show, but I want to watch more before I kind of really talk about it like that. You know, like I said, I watched Stranger Things twice already. I love that show too. I love The Night of. Um, um, I'm gonna rewatch that again too, even though I've already seen the first episode like 3 times. And I tell everybody to watch. I tell everybody about The Night of. I say that is probably one of the best first episodes of TV that I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, watch it however you can. Um, Find someone that's got HBO. Ask them, can I borrow your HBO Go account, or can I blah 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 or whatever. Um, Look for reruns of it somewhere. Find it, watch it. It's worth it. I always tell everyone there's a sequence. There's a sequence where you know what's going to happen, but the way that they built it up, and the way that it actually happens, and the way that they slow play it, it's one of the most intense and the most tense, nail biting, edge of your seat, kind of cringy like scenes that you'll ever see. Trust me. Like I said, you know it's gonna. There's nothing more. There's nothing of a worse feeling than knowing that something's going to end badly, but you have to sit there and watch it happen, and that's the best way to explain it without giving out too much away. Watch it, watch it. Um, Another show I liked. I love Horace. Again, I mentioned I love Horace and Pete. I want to watch that again too. It's been a little while. It was in the beginning of the month or beginning of the year. Excuse me. I want to watch it again. Uh, Love Louis C.K. Can't get enough of that guy. Pause. Um, but yeah, a lot of good stuff with TV, and I guess there's some more shows on like Amazon. It's got some good shows coming out too on their little TV streaming site, and others stuff like that. I gotta look up. Still haven't watched Mr. Robot. That's another one I gotta get to. I think I got some downtime now. I caught up on most like the new stuff. Um, so I'll just binge watch, I guess, the first season of Mr. Robot. I do notice though that I don't know if I could just be. This is just from me. All I know is what I know, and that's about it. I do notice that from the scenes that I've seen from Mr. Robot, where it's like the way that they place the characters in the frame. I do see a lot more how it's, as opposed to being like having them be in the center, they're more like off into the corner, and then it kind of like makes or they're like it's really close at an awkward angle. It's kind of like when you see it, it's not a very symmetrical or very like conventional style shot. It just looks a little off, but then it adds to the scene in a weird way. I've noticed a lot more shows doing that similar angle. If you know, I might be explaining this bad. I'm not. I didn't go to film school. I don't know what I like I said. All I know is I know what I know, and I know what I see, and I see more people essentially doing Mr. Robot shots. I could be wrong. I don't know if they were the first ones to essentially do that. I know other ones have done it before, but I notice it's like that a lot, and I'm noticing more shows doing those kind of angles and more having those kind of frames and stuff like that in their shows. And so that's also part of why I want to watch Mr. Robot. I got to look up some more other shows too. It's a great time. Like I said, they were saying the golden era of TV was with Breaking Bad, The Walking Dead, beginning of early Game of Thrones, stuff like that. I'm not a fan of Walking Dead. Just not into it. I know people always say, "Oh, but it's not about zombies. It's about survival," and I know that. I'm not interested. I don't know what to tell you. Same thing with Game of Thrones. Oh, it's not about It's not like a game. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons or Lord of the Rings or blah blah blah. I don't care. I'm just not into it. I know there's a lot of cool people in it too. Like there's a lot of guys, a lot of actors and stuff that I like, and I know the names. I know that I don't know, just not interested. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Just not interested. Um, so yeah, um, yeah, that'll about wrap it up. Like I said, I'll get to the TV stuff another time. It'll probably be like strictly a pod just on that. I like to kind of deep dive into that and how I think it affected me, how it's affecting popular culture, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I forgot to mention it last time, but if you like what you heard, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, all that stuff. Yeah, and if you don't, still subscribe, like, share, comment, all that stuff. Uh, Maybe you don't like it, someone else might. Who knows? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, your cat. I don't know. I don't care. Anyone. I'll take. I don't discriminate around here. I'll take all fans, any kind. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. See you next time. Peace.